Hello and welcome to the registration tutorial for the existing investors of DelNorte. First, you'll go to dev.delnorte.io, as you see here. Then you'll click the sign in. The first thing you'll see is register person. You'll type in your name. In this case, for testing purposes, some name. Then you will type in the corresponding email for you as an investor. Then you'll click next. You'll be presented an opportunity to provide a key, but you're going to ignore this and click Add Wallet instead of a key. So press Add Wallet. If you have the MetaMask extension, it's just going to ask you what wallet address you wish to use. Now, this is an old address that's already assigned to someone else, and I actually don't want to use it. I want to click Add Wallet, and I want it to have it bring up the MetaMask wallet again, but it's not doing that, so I'm going to bring it up manually. And account 1 isn't connected, so I'm going to connect the account. I'm connecting a different account. And so now I want to try again and click Add Wallet, and now it suggests the wallet I would like. In some cases, it will bring up your wallet automatically and ask you to confirm. So this is the address I want to use associated with my registration. Now you'll click Register. Registered. Please log in. Wallet address linked. Now it's basically asking you to log out and log back in, but instead you can look at your profile over here, see on the right, and see that you're already logged in with a session state of 20. You do not want to register a company. That's another option. You're not going to log out. Instead, you're just going to click Sign In again, and it's going to ask you this time to verify your email address. So you'll request a code because nothing has been sent to your email address yet. So click Request Code. It sent the code. Now you'll go check that code by going into your inbox and looking for a new email. There should be a second email in here that just came in requesting the code. There it is. This is the code, providing the code requested. This is the code. You'll copy and paste it into the Enter Verification input field and then click the Check button. Thank you for registering. Please log in again to begin operations. So now it logged you out and you will have to log in again. This time you're going to select the team ID associated with registration, which is 54. It's the only one you're allowed to log into, 54, or 50 for development, but that's not the focus of this video. 54 is the team ID for the registration portal. You'll enter your email address, and then notice how it remembers your wallet. Now you'll click Sign with Key. MetaMask pops up. Again, assuming you have the Chrome extension installed. Very important. Click Confirm to sign the message, and then sign in. Welcome back. Plumpberry6. Last login at some time. Occasionally, you'll get an error when you attempt to log in, and you'll have to sign the message again, up to 3 times, and then log in. Once you're in, you'll click Operations. And that's it. In some cases, you'll get a request to enter a brain password key. That brain password is 3544, and then it will bring in your settings just like you saw it did now. Just remember, if you get a prompt requesting a brain password for your settings database, just enter 3544 and click OK. And then your settings will be brought in and you'll see this screen. Now once you're in this screen, you're going to enter yourself as an investor by clicking the Google Form button under the Investor Data object. Just click this blue button. And this helps you add yourself in a familiar way. Notice how we are adding the information. You add your name, and then you add your email address, some of these things populate automatically, like your EVM address, the one you registered with. See, you cannot change that. It shows us that you are using a wallet address that you've confirmed is yours because you signed a message with it to log in. That's very important. Now enter your phone number and enter your country of residence. Most will be non-USA, but some obviously are USA. So then you'll click Save Record. Now this used to only allow admins just to add or edit records, but for this team we've created the min admin level of 0. So just click Save Record, and then this shows you the information you're about to upload. You press OK. It writes the data. It says the query is successful. You click Reload, and here's your information, and now you're done. If you wanted to go back and click in the get record, you're in get record. Well, it says you're in add mode right now, and it won't let you go to get record even though you're in that mode now. Fetch my record would just repeat what you just did. It would fetch the record and show the status. This is actually completed already. So close the modal now that you're added. And the best way to close it is just by clicking off of it. Don't click the X button. Just click off the modal. Here. Now you have been added as an investor. Now it's very important that I could show you how to use this system internally, but I'm not at this time. So you can ignore these buttons. You see that you're added as a user. The next step is to sign the accreditation form. And to do that, first you have to go back into a normalized mode by pressing this red button here. Now you're in a normal display mode. Now click the Docs. Now in Docs you'll see these investor forms. You want to get the forms by pressing the Get button. And then you'll click Fill Contract. Make sure you are highlighted as the investor. But actually you are already, because if you go back to registration you'll see there you are. But to be absolutely sure, you can click yourself once here, then go back into Docs, click Get, and then click Fill Contract. And there it is. This contract has certain fields. If you don't, some of them you don't need to fill in. You'll just click autofill right here, and it adds information about you. Now you're going to initial these statements, and you'll provide the dates that they ask for. I signed a SAFT or other purchase agreement on the following dates. You'll enter the dates. If it's more than one time, if there's more than one deal, then you'll sign the page, signature lock. Then you'll go on and read the rest of the document and continue. Well, actually I'm plump buried today, so PB. So continue initialing. Please select one of the possible options. Obviously, you would not initial all of these. You're not a politically exposed person, most likely. If you are, you must select that. You can only select one of the options. The others you'll leave blank. Again, you'll sign. You'll continue to acknowledge who you are with your initials. You'll continue with the certification. For U.S. persons, a valid government ID will need to be uploaded. We'll show you that next. Then you sign the form on the actual signature page. And this is not for you. Well, this is. This is you actually enter your name here. Then there is the, which says printed name. This ties into this. Then this is just for the issuer, so there's no reason to sign that. Issuer need not sign for this agreement to bind investor. So once again, an initial signature spot for you. You tap here for the date. It must show the date that you signed, so you have to tap that for the date on page 4. Then you're done, and you would click Save Form PDF. And now you've saved the form. It's creating it. It does take up to 30 seconds to create the form because it's got all of these templates in there. Once it's finished creating, you're going to upload the form along with your national ID and a confirmation, if you're from the U.S., that you're accredited by sending up a couple of property deed documents or any other accountant letter showing that you have at least a net worth over $1 million. Or a W-2 showing that you're making over $200,000 a year. And we'll show you how to do that once this PDF is created. It does take a while at this point. There's some changes. There it is. It's done. But there's some changes to the code that needs to be made. Now, this is giving you an opportunity to actually email it to us, but that's up to you. But what is mandatory, what is required, is that you'll close this contract filler now that you've got a copy of your PDF. And under investor uploads, this is very important. I don't believe you can do the upload through the blue button. You might be able to. We can try it, but we can try it through the blue button. It says choose file, and you'll choose the PDF that you just uploaded. That would be in downloads. There, the platform doc PDF. Did we just do that today, 3:48 p.m.? Yes, we did. The DelNorte platform doc. So you'll just double click it. It's adding the file. It's encrypting the file. It might ask you for an encryption password. Again, you'll use 3544. We're going to disable encryption, but for now, it's not disabled. So you must use 354. Otherwise, we will not be able to read your uploaded information. So if asked, if prompt for another brain password for a file password, you'll use 3544 again. So the file has been chosen and it's not showing up here. You should be able to save the record with the file. Let's look in the details. Yeah, just to be absolutely sure, we're going to close this portal. And you see, yes, it's all here. And this is the way you'll upload it, with this arrow button. Let's look at the details. It keeps opening this because you need to be in a normalized mode. So display normal. Hit the red button. It's best to have not even used the blue button here, and just make sure you use the red one to stay in the normal mode. You chose the file already. It's encrypted it. You see the details are all filled in. And you just click upload now, which is this. If you highlight and add right here, you see you put your cursor here, there's an upload button. What's missing is a description. You need to write in what this is. This is plump berries. So in your case, it's whoever you are, John Smith's investor declaration. Okay, now upload. This is the information. You click upload, it's writing the data. The file has now been uploaded. We could click reload, and then we'll see the information is here. Congratulations, you've just uploaded your first form to the registration system. Now you're going to need to do the same thing with your ID and other credentials if you're from the US. If you're not from the US, you will enter like a passport ID just to show that you're not from the US. That's reasonable enough, rather than also providing a utility bill, which is an unreasonable request, but it helps us. The more you provide, the better. But all the SEC requires is that we've made a reasonable attempt to show that you're not from the US, which a passport, non-US passport, should suffice. However, again, to help us, provide a utility bill too if you're not from the US. And if you're from the US, please upload an accountant letter or an equity document, etc. And again, to upload another document, you have to go back into add mode. See this plus button? So now you're in add mode, and this is highlighted correctly. This is very important. All these details in red need to be highlighted. The ones you can't enter are automatically added once you choose your file. So you'll choose another file, not the investor declaration, but some other file representing your license, for example, or your passport. So we'd need to, I don't have an example of my own license here, but you would add it. Let's just assume that's your license. You're adding it, and you open it, and it's actually your license that you're adding now. And it adds the file, it's encrypted, and now it says file added, press go to upload. Once again, you'll enter a description. This time you're going to change the description from what shows there and just say your license, or national identification, or passport, national ID. And then once again, this arrow for upload, and it would upload the document. We're not going to upload the same document twice, but that's what you would do. You would hit OK, and it would be uploaded. And then you're basically done. If you want to do more, you can go back into registration, and you can add the token grants you feel you're owed. And again, you'd have to hit the blue button. Remember, if you hit a blue button and then you come out of it, no matter what you press, it's going to bring you back into a Google form. So you must hit the red button on any of these objects after coming out of a Google form. Red means normalized mode, blue means Google form mode. So if we go into the Google form mode for token grants, you can enter what you paid, and you can enter the date if you remember it. Enter some reasonable date. You can enter the amount of DTV you believe you're owed, right? And then we confirm that on our end under where it says approved amount, right? You can't change that. Then you select your role. Was it a capital purchase, an early investor, a recent investor? Most of you guys were early investors. So you click Save Record. And that's it. You click Save Record, and then reload. Reload is important. Always press reload. There it is. There's the information. But try to close the modal. And again, the X won't work. So the best way to close it is just click off it somewhere. Okay? We'll get the X to work shortly. There's a lot of admin-only functions here. So if you press something else here, like you attempt to do anything on another modal, it's going to just pop up the Google form again. You don't want that at this point, unless you do want to add more information through a Google form. You want to go back into normalized mode. See, display normal. And then anything else you do is back in the normal functionality. The Google form is used because it's easier for most people, right? Most people don't want to click these tiny little buttons, right? They want to open up a big Google form and then click a big button that says Save Record. So we added this to make it easier for you to add information or to edit information. Got to select a record to edit. If I wanted to edit my investor information, let's close the form. I would, here I am, right? So I would go here and click edit, and it's saying I didn't even select a record because I'm in add mode here, so I have to actually go back to get mode. And the best way to do that is click get. And again, it's opening this again. I want to close this portal, go into a normalized mode, display normal. And now here's my information. Highlight it. Now, there's two ways to edit. One, the normal way here by just clicking edit. You see how it opens that up in edit mode? It's very easy to edit in this mode. But people like to see big words and big fields. So now that we're in edit mode, you can go back, click the blue button. It's still probably going to try add mode because that's what this is basically meant for. And you'll change the record yourself to edit. It's not even letting you do it. The Google mode is really meant to just add information. We can change that so it always opens in the mode that you're in, or that it even allows you to change the mode. It doesn't understand that we already have a record selected. It probably would if we were back in get mode. Right, you don't really need to see all this. It's just trying to make you familiar with our system. You're in get mode now. And we've highlighted, well, okay. Once again, it's even fooling me. We got to go back into normalized mode. And you're in get mode. We highlight the person in get mode. Now, I'm just going to try this test. It's probably just going to open up right away in add mode because that's what we've designed it to do. Yes, it won't let you. It will not let you go to add mode, to edit mode. We would have to make some changes to allow that. So just remember, you're using Google Forms only to add information, to make it easier for you to add information. When you want to go back into edit or get, just go back, hit the normalized button on the Google Form data object you were just reviewing. And that stops it from going into Google Form mode, into add. And now you can more appropriately select what you want to. Must always go back to get mode and select a record. This is the record. Now we can edit this record. And if you wanted to change your name because you spelled it wrong, you can do something like that. It makes it yellow. You click upload. And now you see it allows you to change your name. You could do the same thing on token grants. And then you're done. When you're done, you just log out. There's a lot of other things you can do here. As you know, as you've probably been hearing, we've added what's called a token treasury that any team can create for themselves with various assets in it. This is our own token treasury, just for your own information, and you can see the assets in it by selecting the appropriate token, DTVC token. There's close to a billion DTVC left, as we've reacquired most of them back. There's about 3 million with the market maker, so there's maybe 8 million outstanding DTVC still, and there's a small amount of USDC and USDT here in the token treasury. Now we're going to close this because we're done with registration now, and you should all be very aware and familiar with how to add yourselves as an investor, and then click docs and add the appropriate documents you'll need to add here. First, you must sign the investor form by clicking get and then clicking fill contract. So once again, get the forms we have, which is presently just DelNorte investor, and then fill contract, and there it is, the contract. You want to make sure you're in a normalized mode to do it. I don't even know if in the Google Form mode fill contract would have meaning. No, it doesn't, fortunately. So you would remember, click autofill to bring in your basic information. If it doesn't bring in your basic information, it means you're not highlighted on yourself as an investor, which means you didn't add your investor information and or leave yourself focused. So that's it. And remember, once you've completed this form and you've saved it and you clicked autofill, added the information you needed to, you signed it in all the places you needed to, you click Save Form PDF, you then need to upload that PDF to the investor uploads. And the best way to do that was just to go into add mode here and choose the file, enter the description. That's it. Choose the file, enter the description, and then click this little upload arrow. You'll only see it when you're hovering over this area. Then you see how the buttons disappear, now they reappear. That's the button for upload. If it won't let you upload, it's because you failed to enter a description. And in this case, we've got no file name chosen. We didn't choose a file name, so if you tried to upload it would say, hey, there's a bunch of stuff missing, right? Including a primary ID, which you can't add yourself. You have to choose a file, and the ID will be added automatically. Again, the only thing missing, description. When you're uploading your other documents, description is automatically filled out from the last time. So you got to erase that and add your new description, whatever it is you're uploading. All right, thank you. Good luck.